know what it is to be fathered, and you don't know what it is to be covered, and you don't know what it looks like to love a woman, and you don't know what it looks like to embrace a child, you will say all the right things, but not stay. That's why we don't have these type of conversations and messages. But y'all already know, I'm not here to be popular. I'm here to be pressing. And I want us here in this room, and I hope it happens all across this country, but in this room today, that we are honest about where we are as men and say, if I'm damaged and don't say that I'm good, don't say that I'm fine, say that I'm damaged, and I'm not going to damage my children. I'm going to get me some help. So why you say that? Why you say that, Pastor? Because I've been damaged. And I damaged my son. And I did what I thought was right. And I got married at 18 years of age. And I mimicked. So I'm talking about, I mimicked because at least if you have a good father around you, you can copy some stuff. That will at least help you. And I mimicked what I saw my father do. That only worked for so long. Because if it's not in you, it can't come out of you. Oh, y'all didn't hear what I just said. If it's not in you, if it's genuinely not in you, it can't come out. So I saw my son in light of, what I wanted things to be like. So listen to me. To copy the image that I saw without the knowledge behind how to make the thing work. And that's what happens in a lot of our family or situations with children, is that there's not enough information from the people who are responsible to make how the thing is supposed to work. So if you were raised in a broken model, whatever you were raised in looks right to you, then that's the model that you teach your children. Am I making sense to anybody? It's very easy. I learned something. Don't do it, but it happens all the time. Okay? Don't tell a woman you love her if you don't love her. Right. Is anybody listening to me? Yes, sir. There are more babies born out of love that never existed. Yes, sir. Y'all not going to invite me back, out of love that never existed, and because of a good moment, now we have a lifetime for a child who is not anchored because of a statement that was made that was not genuine. Right. I do fatherhood work in my job, and one of the challenges that I have now as I return was to be able to think about, there are three different things that have to be considered as a man. The first one is how you were raised. The second one is your immediate social circle of other men. And the third one is what you do with the two. Let me come over here, If you had a poor model, and then the other brothers around you had a poor model, you supported each other in that poor model. So that the things that you did, I'm going somewhere, right, seemed right, And you would be able to gather around and support each other in that what? Broken thing. Do I got married at 18, wanted to be a father. But I wanted to be a different type of father because at that time in the 70s was when this baby daddy syndrome was beginning. It wasn't called that, but that's when it was starting. So there were more people having kids but weren't there to take care of them. And I wanted to make sure that if this one was going to be born, even though I didn't know what I was doing, I was willing to give it a try because I believe. Father, believe that. Believe that. Integrity, first of all. Integrity. Watch this. Integrity, man. Who you are is more important than what you wear, drive, or live in. There are a lot of us damaged men that were raised with the consciousness either we didn't have a whole lot when we were kids, and when we get things now, we don't want to share it. Because we're still afraid. That little boy is still afraid it's not going to happen. Right. Come on. If you didn't get enough love, that's right. You don't know how to give. Come on. That's why there's a problem so much in our society where grown men are envious of children because they expect their woman or wife or whatever to love them over the child because that little boy is still trying to get the love he did not get when he was growing up. Anybody listening to anything that I'm saying today? Integrity, character, makes me try to understand and give it a genuine effort. Three things. Why? Bless, first of all, when you walk in yourself. That's number one. When a man walks in himself. So what do you mean, Pastor? When a man, regardless of how he was raised, meets the challenge and finds the deepest part of himself and gets the healing that he needs and begins to be strong within himself, and he can walk according to what he sees and knows is right, and then you add God to that component, then that man is walking upright. He might be limping, he might be wounded, he might have scars, but he is able then to touch the life of a child knowing that he can commit to that. Knowing, listen to me. Why? Because he says, when I learn to walk in it, it is natural to me. When it's natural to me, I don't have to pretend that it is. It just is. And when it is, I don't have to say anything about what it is. My children will learn from me because of my walk. Yes, Lord. I remember my son looked at me one day, two occasions where just the impact, the full impact of being a father started hitting me. Once was one night that I was sitting on the couch watching football TV or something, and I didn't know he had come into the room. And so I reached under the couch and pulled out my little saucer. Y'all done got a holy on me all the time. What my cocaine on it. I didn't know he was in the room. Right? And I went to work. And just as I was sliding it back under, I looked up. And I guess he was about 4, maybe then. And he just standing there looking at me. Now I realized that I got to move my salsa. That's the first thing. Second, because he's standing there looking at me, that blew my high completely off this off. Because I'm trying to figure out what to say to this cat now, right? Second time, when I came home one night, and I was so drunk, and I was trying to cook. Because you know, when you high and you're drunk, the high tell you ain't as drunk as you are. Don't sit there and leave me like that. And I was trying to cook. And right in the middle of trying to cook, I never forget, there was some French fries. Okay? I failed on the stove. Grease went one way. I went the other way. And I looked up, and who was looking at me? There he was again. The next day, he asked me a question. He said, Daddy, were you drunk? And I said, yes. And I said, that's not what you're supposed to do. Be drunk. What am I saying? They learn from us.
Yes. Amen.
Either way.
Yes.
And I realized what I was teaching him, okay, was all the wrong stuff. Without saying a word, I was telling him that the way I was living was okay. Now watch. If you grow up in that type of environment, it seems right to you. And if nothing changes in you, you will raise your children in that same environment. And then look at yourself later on when that child is in the midst of either drunkenness, abuse, addiction. Because it's too hard to walk away from something that you see Daddy do, because what Daddy does is right. When I'm young. I'm just talking about integrity. What walks after us. Tyrone syndrome, transition, loss of family, loss of identity, loss of self, loss of place in society, has translated now where we are fighting for our children.
Right.
Again.
Yes.
And we ask ourselves why Father's Day is not as celebrated. Well, can I say one more thing?
Come on.
The maternal instinct of the mother causes her to not easily abandon her children. As quick as a man who only made a contribution.
My God, my God, my God. Jesus.
That's why if I don't understand what it means to be a father, a dad, I don't see the significance in the miracle that's going to occur when the baby is born. I don't see the child as a gift, as an opportunity to transfer what's in me into them. I don't see how God has blessed me. That I never thought. I look at my son now. He's my big old 228-pound gift. But I didn't see him like that. I saw him as a bill. You might as well be real. Might as well be real. Because if I saw him, I was there the whole ride. But if I had seen him as the gift instead of just the responsibility, then I would have poured into him differently than I did. That's why when I hear a man say that he's not going to pay for the support of his child, he only sees that child as a bill and not as a gift. Hard. I know. And he's not. When I see that the steps that I take and the decisions that I make and the way that I think and the way I behave is being right, if I'm around that child, or if I'm not, but if I'm around that child, it's being what? Being recorded on the blank disc that is that child's mind and is that child's heart, and that everything that happens, right, is being copied and filed. I wish I had somebody understand what I was talking about. And then what happens is that one day they start playing the tape back that they have recorded, and we don't like the data because the data they have recorded doesn't mean they respect us or love us, because we haven't exemplified or taught them what respect and honor and chivalry and loyalty looks like. I'm just telling you what I learned.
Right.
I'm just telling you what I learned. And who I wish I had time. Watch. And anybody can say they love you.
Yes.
Anybody. I work with damaged children all the time. I tell men and women all the time, children don't care about checks.
Amen. Amen.
Children care about time.
Yes.
You know why I got my hourglass going again? Because for all of us in here, there's only so much time we have to put into our own lives and put into the lives of our children or our grandchildren. And then pretty soon it's over.
That's right. That's right.
It's a done deal. It's a wrap. And one of the things that I see is little hearts that are damaged before they ever learn how to really love. All they are. There's a thing called attachment theory. I'm almost finished, right? And attachment theory has to do with the fact that in children, okay, this is what, anybody, we're talking about children, right? with children and in the first 5 years of their life, what happens is they begin to attach themselves to the people around them.
Amen.
Because closeness, touch, and speech are critical connectors.
Yes.
Children aren't born cussing. They learn it from
Yes.
y'all.
That's a good
Learn
one.
from y'all. I don't cuss. Make sure ain't no lightning comes shoot down. No. What I'm saying is they aren't born doing evil.
That's right.
They learn that from us.
Amen. Right.
Okay? Watch this. God is good because he gives us an opportunity, right, to sow and pour into children.
Right.
Okay? That's trust. But then we tell him, don't trust us so much. And then sometimes we don't pour into them the right things or at all. And then sometimes we turn around and attack and assault the gifts God has given us.
Yes.
Now, children that don't have the touch, the closeness, don't live. I want you to hear me. Children that don't have both halves of who they are available to them suffer.
Amen.
Grow up damaged. Now, I just want to point the challenge. Children that have had the wrong message in those first 5 years are not only damaged, but have a twisted perspective about life.
Yes.
And now those children become parents. That's a generational curse.
Yes. Amen.
A generational curse is not God going, I curse you.
No.
A generational curse is where unhealed, unaddressed issues, right, are transferred into the new lives of little people who grow up and transfer it into the new lives of their little people, and it keeps on going, right? But today in this place, we're going to stop and break that curse and say, brothers in here, that if you didn't do it, you're going to go back and at least give it a shot, because if we don't, you can't talk about changing a curse. You got to uncurse a curse. The damage has been done, but I believe that God will strengthen us if we are serious to be able to go back and repair some of the damage that we've done. But we got to start with ourselves first before we touch anybody else's life. Let's start with me. And then, Lord, here's what he's saying in all totality in this text. If I do it, I don't have to say a word about it. Because if I do it, it'll be like that song, may the works